Hey, what's up guys? It's Andrew Santowski. I'm back with another UFC prediction video. This time UFC Fight Night, Blanchfield versus Barber. This event goes down this coming Saturday, May 31st, 2025. Prelims begin at 6 p.m. It's going down from Las Vegas, Nevada. So let's get into it, guys. A couple good fights on this card, but not much to talk about. So let's get into it. Ryan Dos Santos against Ellis Ardeline. She's been active since the UFC signed her. She's on a 2-fight losing streak. But, you know, this will be her 3rd fight in a year's time. Lost to Shannon Bannon, lost to Melissa Martinez, and she's getting Ryan Dos Santos here, Brazilian fighter. She's on a 2-fight losing streak, too. Lost to Pooja Tomar and Talita Alencar. So, I mean, again, loser's probably going to be cut. Amanda is a minus 260 favorite. I'm going to side with her, but again, how can you have that much confidence on her? Marquel Mederos against Bulgi Oki. Mederos, he's on a 8-fight winning streak, 28 years old. Coming off a win over Austin Hubbard by split decision. Beat Landon Quinones before that, and he got signed off the Contender Series. And he's going up against Oki. He's on a 1-fight losing streak, 29 years old, lost to Chris Duncan. Duncan's pretty good. Beat Timothy Kuamba before that, Dylan Salvador in the Contender Series. I'm going to take Mederos, I guess, as the dog. But again, not a whole lot of confidence in this pick. I don't really know too much about either guys. Andreas Gustafsson against Trevin Giles. This is going down, 180-pound fight, it looks like. 3-fight losing streak for Giles. So if he loses, he's probably out. Lost to Malat, Prates, and Bonfim. Again, all pretty good fighters in the welterweight division. Gustafsson, he's on a 3-fight winning streak. He hasn't fought since he won on the Contender Series last August, so this is his first actual UFC fight. And I'm going to take him here, but Giles has a lot of experience. Let's see if we can get the odds on this. Minus 160. So again, the odds makers aren't exactly sold on Gustafsson, or the betting market's not completely sold on Gustafsson. So, because a lot of his fights, I think, have ended fairly quick. So, again, his cardio might come into question outside of round 1. Jordan Leavitt against Kurt Holobaugh. Kurt Holobaugh on a 1-fight losing streak, lost to Alexander Hernandez, beat Kainan Khrushchevsky before that, lost to Trey Ogden. And let's take a look at Leavitt, who I don't feel like he's fought recently. He's on a 1-fight losing streak, lost to Chase Hooper. We know how good he is. Beat Victor Martinez before that, lost to Paddy Pimblett. I don't know, man. I mean, this doesn't seem right for Leavitt to be a minus 190 favorite. Something doesn't seem right here. But I'm gonna side with him here, man. He's the favorite. Maybe the market knows something I don't, but seems like a possible dog or pass situation. But I'm gonna just take Leavitt to pick up the win. Alan Nascimento against Jafal Filo, man. Two good fighters here, man. Filo, 2-fight winning streak. He just beat Amir Albalzi in a grappling competition. Beat Ode Osborne, Daniel Perez. And like I said, Perez had him hurt in that fight. And then he almost, submitted Mokaev. So, I mean, this guy's got some great grappling ability. He's going up against another good grappler in Alan Nascimento, who I don't feel like we've seen fight in a while. He's on a 2-fight winning streak. Beat Carlos Hernandez, Jake Hadley. But again, he has not fought. Wow, he has not fought since 2023? Wow. So that would be a cause for concern. It's been over 2 years since this guy has fought. Minus 160 betting favorite. But again, you don't know what to expect, man. He's been off 2.5 years almost. I'm going to side with Nascimento, but again, not a whole lot of confidence. Zach Reese against Dusko Todorovic. I mean, this guy made his way back into the UFC. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. Or actually, maybe he was never cut. Yeah, I don't think he was ever cut, but was gone for a while. He lost to Mansour Abdul Malik back in November. I mean, again, they're giving this guy a lot of prospects in striking matchups. He's taking a lot of damage. And he's going up against Zach Reese here, who, again, he's got a lot of first-round finishes. And he's been finished in the first round as well. Lost to Azamat Bokayev in the first round. Beat Medina, beat Marquez. I'm going to side with Reese here, but, man, it's not going to surprise me if Dusko catches him and puts him down. And it's not going to surprise me if Reese catches Dusko and puts him down. So I can see this going either way. Could never lay that price tag on Reese, but I'm gonna pick him to win here. Klein Vieira against Macy Chiazon. Again, this fight was scheduled before. A little more money coming in on Macy now, I believe. She's a slight -115 favorite. Come back on Vieira, -105 according to BetOnline. And I'm gonna side with Vieira here. I think she is the more steadier of the two fighters. She's on a one-fight losing streak. Lost to Kayla Harrison, but again, she, there's no shame in that. Kayla didn't dominate her at all. She beat Pani Kinazad before that. Again, she's lost a lot of tough fights. Lost split decision to Pennington. Macy Chiazon, I just don't really know what you can expect from her fight to fight. That's just how I always feel with her. 2-fight winning streak. Again, she hasn't fought in a while too, almost a year. Beat Mayra Bueno Silva, but in that first round, she lost that to Silva. And then I don't know what happened in that second round, but she gets a cut on Silva. They stop the fight. So, again, I just don't know what you can really expect from Macy Chiazon. But I'm going to side with Klein Vieira here. Dustin Jacoby against Bruno Lopez. Lopez, he's on a 3-fight winning streak. Beat Magomed Gatsailov. I mean, so don't really know a lot of his wins. He's going up against a veteran of the sport, Dustin Jacoby, great striker himself. 1-fight winning streak, 37 years old. Beat Victor Petrino, lost to Reyes, no shame in that. Lost to Mederos. I'm gonna side with Dustin Jacoby here, but again, not a whole lot of confidence in this pick. -182 favorite, can never lay that price tag. So let's go. Ramiz Brahima against Billy Ray Goff. Brahima, he's a great grappler. A 1-fight winning streak, does not fight often. Beat Mickey Gall, surprisingly by right hook, man. And you would think Gall would have the striking advantage in that fight, but Brahima, if I can remember, he looked fast and he ended up knocking Mickey Gall out, if I can remember. So props to him. He's shown some striking aptitude. Billy Ray Goff, we know how good this guy's striking is, man. He's on a 1-fight losing streak, 26 years old. Lost to Trey Walters, but that guy's got serious reach for the division. Beat Yusaku Kinoshita back in August of 2023. And then again, he's got some good wins, man, but a lot of by striking. Now, I'm going to pick him here against Brahima. Again, I don't agree with the betting odds here. Let's take a look. Betting odds here. I know I think I've seen them somewhere. -340. I just, again, you can't. That's pretty disrespectful to Brahima, especially coming off a win over Gall, and he showed improved striking. So again, I'm gonna pick Goff. This is a short notice fight though, so again, take that for what it is. But my pick will be Goff. Co-main, Matthias Gamrot against Leavitt Klein. Supposedly Armin Sarukian turned down a rematch with Gamrot. Obviously Gamrot beat him that first fight. Gamrot, he's coming off a disappointing loss to Dan Hooker back in Australia. Back at UFC, 305, which was last August. Yeah, it went down from Australia. Again, I did think Dan Hooker deserved the win there. It was a hard-fought three-round fight. And he's going up against Leavitt Klein, who since moving up to 155 has looked incredible, man. 6-fight winning streak, 30 years old. About time this guy got to step up in competition instead of these short-notice fights against UFC newcomers. And, I mean, he's obviously handled them. Beat Roosevelt Roberts, Moises, Cunningham. Ignacio Bahamonde. So this is obviously a big step up for the guy, but again, a rightful step up. And man, if he can stop the takedowns, man, it's his fight. Gamrot's kind of chinny, but again, Gamrot, he's been itching for a fight here, man. So it's not going to surprise me if Gamrot wins 2 out of 3 rounds, wins all 3 rounds from just grappling and control, man, because I think he is going to have a grappling advantage here for sure. And I don't think he's going to play around on the feet at all. And he's going to shoot right away for that takedown. So, again, I'm going to side with Klein just based off the value. But, again, it won't surprise me if Gamrot easily covers that price tag and dominates the fight. I won't have a bet on this. My pick will be Klein. But, again, it won't surprise me one bit if Gamrot pulls this off. Main event, Blanchfield against Barber. Yeah, I mean, I do agree with Blanchfield being the favorite here. She's got the 5-round experience, wins over Rose Namajunas, lost to Manon Fiorot, and Manon completely controlled that whole fight, beat Rose. I don't know if that was a 5, yeah, it was a 5-round fight. Again, Rose hasn't had that much success since moving up to 125. I think she's better suited for 115, but again, she might not be able to make the weight. Barber, we haven't seen her fight in a while. She pulled out of that main event against Rose Namajunas last summer. You know, she had some medical issues going on, so her last win was in March of 2024. So it's been over a year. To Caitlin Sermonara, Caitlin Chukagian. You know, but again, she's on a 6-fight winning streak here, and again, let's look it up. Let's look at it. Let's compare both ladies. 26 years old for Blanchfield, 27 years old for Barber. 5'5" against 5'4", 68-inch reach to 65. So Barber's at the reach disadvantage despite being slightly taller. I just think the odds are just highly skewed here, man. I can see this being a very close fight. Maybe 2-2 going into the 5th. I just, again, you just don't know what Barber's cardio is going to be like. Maybe Blanchfield completely dominates this fight, but I just have a hard time seeing it. It seems like we've kind of seen Blanchfield plateau. Maybe she makes another run at that title at some point. I mean, she's in the top 5 of the women's 125-pound division, the women's flyweight division. But she's gonna have a hard time beating Manon. I think both these women will. Valentina, I don't know how many title defenses she has left in her. If Whaley moves up, Whaley might pose some problems. But again, I think we can expect to see Blanchfield, in the top 10, obviously, for some time. But I just think the value's on Macy here, man. I just think Macy's being severely disrespected on the betting odds, especially for a women's fight. We know how these fights kind of go. And both these women have something to prove, and Barber's kind of hit that Aaron's kind of hit that plateau. Barber, again, she was aiming to be the first or the youngest UFC champion. Obviously, that didn't happen, but I think this is a close fight. But again, we haven't seen Barber's 5-round cardio. We don't know what the strength advantage is going to be like when these two ladies grapple up. And so yeah, I just think the value here is all on Barber. You got minus 225 on Blanchfield. Again, I do think she should be the favorite, but minus 225, you're placing a lot of value on Barber, in my opinion. So again, I'm going to have to pick Macy Barber just based on the value here. So again, guys, let's go over my picks. Barber, Klein, Goff, Jacoby, Vieira, Reese, Nascimento, Leavitt, Gustafsson, Mederos, and Dos Santos.